Welcome to another Pastors Chat with Coley and Tonks.
That's right. It's good to be here. Good for another week. The year's winding down.
I know.
Sort of. We're getting close to December.
It's last week of November, I think.
Yeah, it's very scary, isn't it? So start amping up for Christmas and all that sort of stuff.
Having the Santa hat on.
That's right.
Put up the Christmas tree.
Yep. You've probably already got it up, do you? Or
no.
Big believer in...
Coley's got a very strict rule.
Yep.
1st of December.
Yep.
It goes
so that's a
up.
weekday. That's not impractical.
I'll probably the day before have to pull everything out of the shed.
Yeah.
We'll sit in the lounge room and then she'll spend that next evening after work.
I'd let Elise do it the weekend before Christmas this year. We're away the first weekend of December. So, yeah. But I have seen on our regular viewer, Beck has already got a Christmas tree up. She had it up like a week ago. So, it must look nice and Christmassy.
The stuff's up everywhere in the shops.
Yeah, the music's there. It's good hearing some gospel stories when you go down to the shops. Oh, yeah. It's great hearing that. I heard, which one did I hear the other night? I was in The Good Guys, I reckon, and they're playing Oh Holy Night come up. So it's good to be able to go out and hear those sort of songs.
Well, the next couple of weeks we'll do some Pastors Chats on some Christmas themes.
Yeah, maybe we could do favourite Christmas carols. I don't know, maybe. Almost annoying if you're Brendan Moritz. I know he hates them.
Yeah, he doesn't like him, does he? Do you, Brendan?
Yeah, but he doesn't watch our Pastors Chats, so stuff him.
No.
Yeah.
Hi, Brendan. Shoot us an email if you're watching this one.
We'd love it.
Comment below.
But today we're talking about habits, and we're talking about habits that we keep. And so we're going to talk about just 3 habits that we keep that are regular.
Good habits.
Yeah, good habits, not bad
like
habits.
Picking your nose.
Yeah, not like leaving the dishes just on top of the dishwasher, not in the dishwasher. We're talking about good habits. So tell me about one of your good habits.
Yeah, well, one of my habits, and we've talked about this in previous Pastors Chats a bit, but that's reading. There's an old saying that used to go around a long time ago that challenged me a bit. It was, leaders are readers. So if you want to be effective in your leadership, whether it's a leader or as a pastor, and that, we need to be committing to reading and letting those books, good quality books, to feed your soul, feed your mind, help learn new things about whether it be the Bible or about leadership skills or just about character in general and that. So that's something that, for a number of years now, after probably many years, I might have read 1 or 2 books a year. Making a solid commitment, I need to be more disciplined in reading. So I'm up to I think I'm about to start book 24 for the year. So
wow, it's 2 a month.
Know, some people read a lot more than that. I got an old pastor friend of mine in Western Australia, and he's telling me his wife reads about 70 books a year.
Jeez. I suppose if I took like all my TV and video game time and put in the books, I'd probably feel like I could read 100 books a year, but I'm not going to. It's a lot of commitment there, a lot of sacrifice. Yeah. No, reading is important, I think. That's a great habit to have.
And it's enjoyable. Like, I'm finding it really, really enjoyable, where it used to be a bit of a chore. But I'm finding it now, it gives me a lot of pleasure. And it's just been a whole mind shift over the last sort of 4 or 5 years when I made that personal commitment to get into a really good habit, ritual of reading. So that's my first one.
Habit. Fantastic. Well, my first one is just running/gym, I'm going to call it, but regular exercise. And I've always exercised a little bit and at footy training and all that sort of stuff. It probably wasn't until the start of last year, which is 2019, that I decided to commit to running 3 times a week. And then after that, I decided to commit to going to the gym 3 times a week. And mostly because I saw some pictures on Facebook, because at your son's wedding, and if you go back and look at some pictures of me on Facebook that day, your youngest son's wedding, and I put a lot of weight on really quickly. And I look disgusted at people like your youngest son, who can just eat Zinger boxes every week.
Oh, I don't understand.
He's just about got a 6-pack. And I know he does a little bit of exercise and plays basketball, but I just need to look at a Zinger box sometimes and I'm already starting. But I saw that a couple of years ago, so I'm like, I need to actually commit to doing this. So I bought a good pair of headphones so I could listen while running to podcasts and stuff like that. And now I run 3 times a week. I try to do 2 during the week and then 1 on the weekend. And I love it. And there's good running tracks near my house. It doesn't take long, 5 minutes and you're near the river if you're jogging.
There's no good running tracks out there, but that's my
You can follow the channel. It's almost like a river. But that's been something that I've really... And then once I was getting good at that, you do get a bit addicted to it. So that's where I decided
the endorphins side of it.
So I joined the gym and I love it because I find particularly some of my best ideas, even sermon ideas, come when I'm running. So now I have to have my phone with me and sometimes dictate. My headphones got a microphone and a little idea so that I can come back to it later. But really enjoy that.
But people have been noticing too, haven't they? I know we caught up for breakfast with some friends recently, and one of the first things I said was, "Wow, Josh, you're looking good."
Yeah, some people starting to notice, which is good. And it took a long time before I ever got to that point.
Has Elise noticed?
Yeah, she does. She has noticed before. So it's
Is she impressed?
I hope so. I hope so.
Are you impressed, Elise?
Yeah.
Still looking,
I can see. But that's just a habit that I find I never sort of give me such a clear mind as it has. So
Yeah. Oh,
there's been
okay.
a lot of benefits. People say that. You can
So
get
not
it
just
right.
the physical, but
No, more mentally. I find it's really healthy mentally. So I don't know what the science is behind that. I'm sure there is something there. Yeah. What about another habit you've got?
Well, this has been a habit for a long period of time, but it's been one that I suppose I've been tempted to not continue on during this COVID time when Sunday mornings look so ridiculously different for us as ministers. I've had a Sunday morning ritual for a very, very long time because I think as a minister, we're coming along to church 3 times during normal time we're talking about, but 3 times on that Sunday, we're preaching, we're giving out to our congregation. And even when we're not even preaching, even if I'm in the band or if you're worship leading, there'll be between times when people are wanting to talk and asking for prayer. Sunday is a big day where we are giving so much, and you can't give from emptiness. You've got to give from the overflow.
That's right. Yeah.
So I made a commitment quite a number of years ago. I get up very, very early on a Sunday morning, 5:30.
That is early.
Every
That's
Sunday.
Early. Yeah.
I spend a good solid hour or so reading through my sermon that I'm doing that day, and praying as I'm reading through, just sort of really asking God, I want this to be the right message, all that kind of stuff. But then I'll sit down and I'll watch some sermons. I usually watch 2 sermons on a Sunday morning before church, and that's so I'm replenishing myself. I'm fueling myself, so I'm then ready to give out on the Sunday.
I find I watch sermons sometimes too, and I just want to preach after I watch them.
Oh yeah, well they do. They
Yeah.
get you really quite motivated and stuff. So I suppose that's where the example is. Now that we're not preaching live on a Sunday, but we're recording our sermons midweek and getting everything ready for our online services, the temptation would be there, I'm not preaching. I'll stay in bed.
Yeah.
I'll sleep until 8 or 9 o'clock, and then I'll just get up
Yeah.
But I thought, no, if I do that, it starts to take the edge off.
Yeah.
So it's a discipline, it's a habit, a good habit, which I've really had to fight to maintain.
Yeah.
So I'm still up. And even when, sometimes Chloe will get up to go to the toilet in the morning, she goes, what are you doing up so early? And things, so, but I've got to keep that discipline going. So it's been a battle, but I have been able to maintain it, and I feel it keeps that edge going. Keeps
Sounds
me
like a
on
great
that.
habit. Yeah, well, another habit I've got is just Bible reading and prayer every morning. I think as pastors, it's very important, but I don't think it doesn't matter if you're a pastor, if you're wanting to know Jesus and be a follower, you need to be reading that every day. And you talk about reading, and I imagine your Bible reading time's separate to your reading. Like I think you need to really, what do people say? Visit other books, but live in the Word.
That's a good saying.
Yeah, and I find that, and I've always read my Bible really well in the mornings. Morning time works for me, so that's when my habit. I wake up. Most mornings I go to my couch. There's like this single seat couch we've got, and I'll sit there. My Bible usually lives on the arm of that, and I'll just open it up and keep reading from where I was up to. And then after that, I pray as well. And for me, prayer was something that always been good, but I never had a real solid habit of it to make it habitual, which we're talking about, until middle of last year, maybe late last year. And I was actually reading the book Dangerous Prayers by Craig Rochelle. Really good book. And
got to get that one.
Yeah, it really challenged me a little bit in how to do it. But now I recite a psalm to start my prayers, and it really works. I'm going to change the psalms up eventually, but at the moment I read Psalm 139, 23 to 24, which says, "Search me, God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. See if there is any offensive way within me, and lead me in the way everlasting." And then I go from that to John 3:30. And you might be someone where this sort of ritual might help you in prayers. I know some people are like, how do I pray? Where do I start? And I find starting with just reciting scripture actually works really well. And John 3:30 just says, "He must become greater, I must become less." Yeah. So I say those 2 verses 5 times out loud just to hopefully reset my mind, and then I pray from there for others, for
well, both those readings have a pretty hardcore challenge in them.
Yeah.
So, if we're asking God, show if there's any, you probably don't want him to answer necessarily in that psalm.
No,
that's the reveals.
That's the idea of his Dangerous Prayers book. Is it's not praying for something that might change the world in the sense of, God, I really pray that you can heal this person of a dying disease. When I first read it, I thought it might have been like that. But when you read it, it's all about self-examination and changing your heart in prayer and how that changes you. And I found it really good. So I've added that.
Those what was it? John
3:30. Yeah.
That's a powerful one too, because now we've seen recently that news around a particular like celebrity pastor who's been sacked and fell from grace, and there's a couple of media coverages of that story, and they were talking about comments from congregational members, and they said a number of his fans had commented, and straight away I felt a little bit of offended, like fans? Hang on, as pastors, we shouldn't have fans. And even that whole thing of celebrity pastor, no pastor should be a celebrity. So that verse is reminding us we've got to become less and less and less. So that's
especially as we're doing all this YouTube stuff, and you see your views go up, and you see people can watch you from anywhere. It's easy to get in self, you know.
We might look and see, oh, Simon Rissen's getting more views than us, abortion or such and such or whatever, and you know, or hey, we got more than the local church. We must be better.
So you got to constantly just remember that, I think, and it's very important. So they're two habits that I do every day. So I really think they're important, just to centering ourselves.
Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. Well, my last one, and I'm combining two in this one, because there's a similarity in them in regards to the priority of family. And that's firstly, Coley and I regularly having dates. So going out for lunch together, going out for dinner together. Last week, we went down to that street food.
It's good there.
It was fantastic.
It's a great spot.
The pulled pork.
Hope that stays when all the COVID stuff goes back. Hope they keep that there.
Oh, I hope it does. It was great. So, you know, we do that as often as we can. Usually about 2 or 3 times a week we'll do breakfast, lunch or dinner together. And connected to that is our Wednesday night family night. So we've mentioned this a number of times, but every Wednesday, Josh, Maddie, Ethan and Georgie come around for dinner, and we have dinner. We sit around the table all together. We talk about work and study and school and family life. And you know, Josh and Maddie are still in the midst of building a home, so we often talk around those things. Georgie and Ethan are looking at buying a block of land, so we're talking about it. So it's all about what are we going on about. They always come and examine our, you know, what our bathroom renovation's up to this week. So it's about all sorts of, but it's prioritising family, because it'd be very easy to get to Wednesday, and you know, a couple of times we've had things like Chloe wanted to play sport. It was going to be on a Wednesday night. We've seen both Josh and Ethan make plans, change plans around so that they prioritise family night. Obviously, we're not so rigid that if it was, say, Georgie's dad's birthday and he wants to go out and have a birthday celebration on Wednesday, obviously that's fine. But as much as we can, we prioritise those times, because it builds that priority of family, it builds a priority of our marriage, and it keeps everything growing and staying strong. You know, it can be very, very easy to skip this week, and then something that comes up next week, and we've got an excuse for the following week, and next thing you look at it and you think, gee, it's been like 2 months since we've actually got together as a family, or it's been like 3 or 4 weeks since we've actually gone and had a date night. And that's when the rot sets in. That's when everything becomes a little bit too complacent. You know?
Definitely.
So that's been a really, really important habit that we've set, and we've set it in stone as much as we possibly can.
They sound like great habits. Great fun. My last one, it's a little bit similar to that, is just me and Elise. One morning every week we read the Bible together, and that like takes the place of my Bible reading time, I should say. So we do it together just once a week. We've done it ever since we started dating, actually.
Oh wow!
It was something she really wanted to do, and we did it back when we were dating. We did it over the phone, and then now we do it face to face because we live together, obviously. But with something we've done we miss the very occasional week every now and then, but we just make sure if we miss a week, we keep doing it. So we just read a chapter, talk about it.
So how do you read it? Do you like take it in turns, or you read this
I read half and she'll read half. Yep. So we just pick a chapter. So at the moment we're going just about to finish Judges. So Elise never really read much of Judges too much, and there's been some good discussions out of that.
So many cool stories.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, and a bit horrified at some of the stuff that comes up there as well. But we enjoyed, and we'll chat about that, and it's been really fun. So you get to talk about the Bible and grow in your faith together, but then we pray for each other, whatever's happening, and we just enjoy it. Sometimes we might go out and do it over breakfast. Sometimes we'll just do it at home, but we just try and fit it in. It doesn't really have a set day. At the moment it's Thursday mornings because it works for us, but it's always been a bit of a fluid time. It's always been there every week though, and it's one of my favourite times of the week.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
So it goes
you
really
can even
well.
get couples Bibles if
Yeah, you
people
can
are
actually.
looking for resources to do that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's some good devotionals in them as well. And a couple of times we have used the plans in YouVersion instead of going through a whole book. We'll just go through the devotionals in that instead. And so many good resources out there.
Fantastic. Love it. Yep. So there's some good, really good, positive habits that are there. And I wonder what sort of habits do you have?
What are your good habits?
Faith-building habits, family habits, work, sport, health, physical.
That's right.
Lots of different habits.
What do you do each week? What are those things that help you be who you are, I guess, or grow you as a person?
Because I'm sure we could all admit to quite a number of bad habits.
That's right. It's good to remember good habits and how important they are. That's
yeah.
right. Maybe one of your great habits is watching pastors chat each week. We'd love to hear about it. So just drop in the comments, let us know.
Awesome.
And it's been great. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, okay. Bye, everybody.